The objective of this lesson is to teach you how to make a quick Gantt chart that you can use for a meeting, and this Gantt chart will be dynamic. So for example, you have a task that takes 43 days. If I change it to, for example, 2 days and I press enter, you can see that my chart will automatically adjust. Now this is a quick way to do a Gantt chart. I'm going to teach you in the next lesson a more comprehensive way. So let's start. We go to our base data, and here we have the task name, we have the start date, how many working days, and the end date. Now a few things I'm going to show you. First, I linked the start date to the end date of the previous tasks. You don't have to do this, but I just did it for the purpose of this exercise, as you can see. The other thing that I want to show you is that this end date is coming from a formula, which is workday. I'm going to put a link in the description so you can check this formula out. Basically, it's taking a start date, it's adding the working days, and it will give you an end date, taking into account weekends and so on. Now, what I'm going to do next is find out the calendar days, because this is working days. I want the calendar days to be able to do a Gantt chart. So I'm going to do equal end date minus start date. You get 11 days, for example, here. We drag the formula down, and then we're going to format everything. The next thing I need to do is I need to give a serial number to my tasks. So task number, I'm going to put 1, and then I'm going to do previous cell plus 1, so I can give it a number. And again, we're going to copy paste the format with the format painter. Next, we need to copy paste this task list. So you go here, you select it, you do Ctrl C, and then you don't do Ctrl V. You come here, for example here, you go paste, paste special, and then here you have paste link. So this is in the newer versions of Excel. Why am I using paste link? Because if I change something, for example, here you have bug fix. If I do bug fixes, here you see it will automatically adjust here. So now we go back. We're going to format this at the end. But first we want to copy the working days. So I go and I do paste special and then paste link. Next, we need to insert a chart. So I'm going to take my task number and then I'm going to press on Control. Keep Control pressed and then select your start dates. If you are struggling with this, you can move the start date here and then you select all your data. It's fine. Then you do Insert and you want a scattered plot. So we get a scattered plot and we put it here. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you will see how it will work at the end. So you click on the title and you press delete and you get rid of the title. The next thing I have is my bug fix is actually my 9th task, not my first task. So I want to reverse this graph. So what I do, I click on this axis, I right click, I do format chart area, for example. I couldn't get the axis, so if this happens to you, you can click here and you can select vertical value axis, for example. And then here you can go to this option and you have axis option and you have values in reverse order. If you see now, my first task is problem solving, so we are fine. Let's make it a bit bigger so we have the right format. Next, what I want to do is use this and transform it. So what I'm gonna add here is, if I click on the plus, I will use this thing called error bars. As you can see, error bars are giving me lines instead of dots. I don't want the vertical lines, so I'll click on one vertical line and then I'll press delete so I get rid of these lines. Next, I need this line to start from here, from this dot, and go forward. This is what I need. So I'm going to click on them, right click, format error bars, and then I'm going to select the direction as plus and no caps. So as you can see now, they start from the dot and they go forward. The next thing that I don't like in this chart is that it starts on the 20th of December, but my project starts on the 1st of January. So how to fix this? We click here and we're gonna fix this axis. If you see here, you have axis option, you have a minimum that is automatic. So every date in Excel is equivalent to a number. So we need to find out what is the number for the 1st of Jan. That's very simple. You take the 1st of Jan, you copy it, you can paste it here, and then you go to home, you click on the comma. And you can see that 1st of Jan is 44562. So you go back here, you click here and you put 44562. Enter. So now my minimum is set. This is why you get this reset here. And as you can see, it starts on the 1st of Jan. Next, I need to work out that those bars are equal to the number of days a task takes. And now I have nothing. So what I do, I click on them. Then if you go here, you will see that you have custom for error value, specify value, positive error value. You go here and you select the number of days. And then you say OK. So as you can see now, my bars are starting from the dot and representing the number of days, calendar days, a task takes. And as you can see, one task finishes, another task starts, right? Next, I need to format. So I click on those error bars. I go to the bucket, and in the bucket, I'm going to choose, for example, orange color. I'm going to make it more thick. So we're going to increase the width, for example, 4.5. And as you can see, it's starting to take shape. Then if you see here, you have some markers. So when you click on them, you have line and you have marker. I click on marker, I have no border and then no fill. So then I get rid of, again, those dots that I had here. And again, it's starting to take shape. Gonna make it a bit longer. And then I need to start formatting this. So to format this, I'm gonna select them. I'm gonna select it till after my chart, and then I'll go to my borders. So I can click here under home on this arrow, and I go to border, and in border, I'm gonna select this line. I'm gonna select a gray color, and then I'm gonna have a few lines here. I can make it more thick if I want to. The other thing that we need to do is fix this line. So this line, for example, we can use a double bottom border and we can remove the top one. So for the top one, we say no border. So there you go. Next, I want to get rid of this axis. So I click on it and I press delete. So I get rid of it. Then I don't like the grid lines. So I get rid of them. I click on them, get rid of them. Again, for those grid lines. The other thing that you see here, it's cluttered. Why? Because you have 2022 and so on. So we need to fix the format. So I right click, format axis, you go down, number, custom, and then in custom, here you go, you do this, you delete this, and you do dd mmm. Add, and then you can see that the format changed to 1 Jan, etc. So it's under custom dd mmm. Now we took care of this. The next thing is I want to see those lines behind. So I can right click here, format plot area, or if we click here, which is chart area, we go here under fill, no fill, border, no border. So that's for the chart area. And then we close this. This line is not nice, right? This axis line. So again, we click on the axis. Again, if it's not clicking, you try multiple times. So you click here, for example, then you click here, you can get this axis. If it doesn't work, you go from this arrow and then you can select an element in the chart. So this axis has a line. So we have a line and we need to get rid of it. So now let's click here. You can see there is a fill automatic. We don't want any line also. And we get rid of the line. Next, we need to adjust our chart so the tasks are coming in the right positions, right? So we are trying to adjust it. This takes a little bit of manual work. And if you see, for example, that you're not making it, you can click and click inside the chart here, and then you can play even with this, not just the overall chart, the inside chart area. So I'm doing this because my area is like a bit smaller. And as you can see, I managed to put them inside. Next, what we do is we need to put like this blue thing, project timeline, on top of it. So we're just gonna select this and then we're gonna merge the cell. Then we go on home, we click, we select a color that we like, and then we type project timelines. Then we select it, we color the font in white so we can see it, and then we can, for example, put a border to it. So that's our project timeline. And lastly, we will put a picture. But before putting a picture, I'll show you two things. One is if you change the data here, for example, let's assume that this task takes 100 days instead of 10 days, you can see that my chart automatically adjusts, right? So let's go back. The other thing I want to tell you is that if you think that you might have other tasks that will come, you might want to select more than what I selected for my chart. So for my chart, I only selected this. You might hedge yourself and add more lines here. So in case you have new tasks, you just add them and they will come in the chart automatically. Now let's add the picture. You do insert and then illustration, pictures, and then you have three ways to add pictures, either from the device or online or stock images. I have one on the device, so I'm going to select this for now, and I'm going to select this faded to, and I have a picture. Now I'm going to put the picture in front of the chart this way, and then we're going to play with the transparency. So as you see, I can make it more transparent or less transparent. I'm going to make it this transparent, and this is how I have my quick Gantt chart.